Hello everyone, this is Abhijit from Abhichanger. So recently I watched Better Call Saul season 5. Vince Gilligan, he had created Breaking Bad, one of the best series. Okay, after that Better Call Saul came. See, there's a basic difference between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad is pretty much into a high adrenaline rush. Okay, it has so much action going on, so much drug dealing, sex, action, violence, and going on, and it became naturally the best series because of impeccable writing. And then came Better Call Saul, which has mostly nothing about that. You know, it is plain about a simple character of Bob Odenkirk's Jimmy and his court-related drama and his relationship with his brother. But yet, just by the power of writing, Better Call Saul achieved almost everything that Breaking Bad has achieved. Okay, that's why it is one of the great series. And I think for me, first three seasons of Better Call Saul were impeccable, were incredible. Okay, fourth was good, just like fifth, it was good. Okay, but now coming to the fifth season, it is a mix of good things and bad things. Overall, I would say it has justified, but only I would just go as far as good, because there are also a lot of flaws because they overdid some things. Okay, now let's talk about some good things about the fifth season. Jimmy, see, this guy has now transformed into Saul Goodman. 70 to 85% he has accepted that you know, he has to go his own way. He cannot be as corporate lawyer, sophisticated like his brother Chuck or Howard. So he has started understanding. He is not working on his own. He has transformed into that. You know, he has realized that no matter how good his intentions are, things are always going to go south with him. So he has started accepting that. Okay, so mostly he is into his Saul Goodman character, and it's very pleasing and satisfying to see in fifth season, because he no longer just holds back. He has to do it, he just does it, even if he has to represent drug cartel or some low level cheap drug smugglers or anyone. He just does it. He no longer has that kind of thinking what his brother will think and all those things. No, he's not thinking about that. Okay, so that has been shown and written and developed very well. Another thing is the relationship between Jimmy and Kim. You know, they were already always very understanding couple. But I think in second season, what has happened? Fifth season, what has happened is they have become very mature, especially Kim. If you see, she has started understanding that Jimmy cannot be changed. His nature is such that if he has to do something, regardless of his intention, he's going to do it in any way. He doesn't think about ethical or unethical ways. Okay, he's not that kind of a person. Kim is very ethical. She thinks about that. But Jimmy is not like that. So she understands that, and so she has started living with it. She's okay with it. Okay, she doesn't let these things turn the relationship sour. And especially, I think Kim's character is one of the highlights of this season. I mean, she is no longer just a person who just wants to do her job. She is actually outsmarting everyone. She is outsmarting her client. She is outsmarting her opposition, even Jimmy. And one of the best moments of the season, if you see in the ninth episode, how she confronts this Lalo Salamanca. Wow, you should just watch it. I have watched it over and over again. So she's also coming into her own character. So everybody into this fifth season, they are accepting who they are. And for me, Kim was amazing throughout the season. She was the hero of the season. Okay, even if you see Michael, so far he was always, you know, he has this sadness or frustration or anger about his son's death. Then there's also what has happened with that German guy, so he couldn't move on. But now in fifth season, he has started doing that. He and Gus Fring, they have confronted. They both understand revenge. Now he is completely into the mission. So he is also completely into that position where Breaking Bad happens. Okay, then so yeah, these things may bring this season coherently. It keeps moves the flows the story forward. So overall, they have done well into this situation. Now, Also, one of the achievement is see I like one of the scenes where Howard keeps asking Jimmy to join his firm. Now this is a kind of insulting thing. You know, he has moved on and now he again comes and asks him, "Okay, would you like to work for me?" Now this doesn't sit well with Jimmy, and after a while he does many silly things that Jimmy as a character does, and in the court lobby when he outbursts that what he is and he is no longer going to work for him, so what he is, so that scene also is an achievement, it's a milestone what Vince Gilligan and the writers have shown. So overall for this things I would say Better Call Saul season 5 is good. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the flaws. Okay, because these flaws I cannot ignore, they actually overdid it, or even I would say the writers ignored or overlooked it too much. The reason I say this because the writing of Better Call Saul throughout the series was so good that is one of the best works in recent times. Seriously. So when you see that writing quality going down in fifth season, it's a bit put off. You know. First of all, see the biggest put off for me is the relationship between these two. No, not the entire relationship. See, overall when they talk, it's good, but sometimes they drag it too much. You know, the kind of stare these two people, Jimmy and Kim has. You know, now Kim realizing that she cannot control Jimmy's gut. Whatever he wants to do, he is going to do it. He is going to hide it from her for her own goodness. So especially in second, third, or fourth season, fourth episode, their scenes become too boring. See, there's a difference between slow and boring. Better Call Saul throughout the series they always had a slow pace, but because of the slow pace the series works because you get to actually witness the journey. But I think in fifth season their scenes, a screenplay has been written in such a way and executed in such a way that it becomes very boring. I really wanted that to end. Okay, fine, I understand that you guys are into the very tricky part of your relationship where you cannot understand each other or you cannot control each other, but that was pretty boring for me. Because see, overall this relationship it's good, but you can come to a point a bit early that they could have avoided. For me, I think second, see, third and fourth episode were done. They should have avoided, not just could, they should have avoided that. Another major flaw was that Acker Geiger angle. Now he is the guy who has a lease on a land in Mexico, okay, New Mexico, and Mesa Verde already owns that land. So that angle, I think they wasted entire 2 or 3 episodes on that. Now I understand that Kim doesn't want that land to be devoid, to be removed from that Acker guy. But see, Mesa Verde, however filthy rich they must be, however manipulative they must be, I don't think Mesa Verde has done anything wrong. Legally, it's their land, and they are just asking for that. So Kim, if it doesn't sit well with her, she could have easily she could have just quit the job, or she just assigned the case to anyone. But what she does is she hires, she tells Jimmy to do something about it, and everyone knows what Jimmy is going to do. So that entire angle doesn't sit well with me. The writing has been very poor in that form, and it was very predictable and it is very childish. The kind of gimmicks that Jimmy does when he goes there, I think it was pretty boring. Even when he actually meets Kevin and the kind of blackmailing he does, I don't think that was necessary. It was very pointless, and it actually it stopped focusing the series on the things that really matter. What is happening in the drug cartel or what is happening in Jimmy's life. Those things should have been the focal point. But this entire Acker Gaika angle was pretty much dull for me. They should have not given it so much emphasis. Next is Lao Salamanca. From the start, I didn't like this character. I mean, there was no hardcore or substantial contribution from this guy. Understood that the main Salamanca guy is in hospital care, so he has to take over. But I think apart from what responsibilities he has given to Nacho Varga, he is not really doing anything. Most of the time, whenever he is coming onto the screen, he is just overconfident, laughing it off and all those kind of things. Then one of the stupidest thing he does is when he wants to bill money, 7 million, he sends Saul Goodman to fetch that. First of all, why would you do that? As it is a failure from writer's part. See, you are a drug cartel person. You have so many people working from you, even from prison. You have so many people. First of all, wouldn't you send Nacho Varga to do that? Even if he's busy, you can send some other people to do that. Why would you send a Saul Goodman, a lawyer who knows nothing about this drug cartel? Why would you do that? He's not even a trustworthy guy. You just have met him once or twice. So why would you send him? That was a very negative point for me. You cannot do that. That was really an idiotic thing from creators. So I don't buy that. So he goes there, things go south, and he comes fine. It is going to happen. So they should have avoided that. Another thing is Lao Salamanca's assassination attempt. See, first of all, when Michael says this to Nacho Varga that the people who are going to assassinate Salamanca are the best in business. You say they are best in business, and the way their assassination action and attempt has been choreographed, it was so dumb. And just by looking at them, you know that Lao Salamanca is not going to die because their way of approach of assassination was stupid. Okay, and so they at least see. I know for the gravity of the situation, Lao Salamanca has to be alive. That's because in the sixth season, he's going to create a lot of problems now for Gus Fring. Already he was creating, but now there is no doubt he is going to bring all the drug cartel against him. So he had to be alive. But at least show the attempt in such a way that you become restless when you're watching. You have some kind of anticipation or anxiety what is going to happen. So that was not there so the finale didn't work for me. So these are the flaws because of which I think the overall quality of Better Call Saul in fifth season has gone down. It has not gone to such a level that you would avoid it. It's still a very wonderful or watchable season. Like I said, because of Jimmy and Jimmy Kim's relationship, what Kim has done throughout the series, she is a badass. I'm telling you, she is a badass. The kind of transformation Walter had, from Walter to Heisenberg. Not exactly that, but the way she talks. I'm just telling you that scene with Lao Salamanca, the way she speaks, it was amazing. Seriously. So there are seriously very good moments of Better Call Saul in fifth season that makes it worth a watch. And obviously you are going to watch it. You have to give it that respect. And I think sixth season, maybe it's a final season, but there are a lot of things that are going to happen. Gus Fring, he has now started going into his character. He is no longer just going to sit alone and silently going to just observe everything. He has started reacting. So in sixth season he is going to be at peak. Michael has already is all in the way. Nacho Varga, now he has also shown his own loyalty to Gus Fring and Michael. And Saul Goodman, now he's also going to accept his fate. Now he's a drug cartel guy. Now you know what he's going to do. And what Kim has done in the exactly last 10 minutes of the final episode, what she has done, she has also shown that she is not just a normal girl. Okay, she also has her own plans. So I think sixth season is going to be not just wonderful. I think it can actually change the history of television if they really do exactly what Vince Gilligan has done so far. But yeah, that is a discussion for another time. So I would say, expectation from Better Call Saul in fifth season were high. They haven't been achieved to 100% extent. 70% I would say. 70% they haven't achieved. Yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you.